Several of our colleagues told us that as they were training people in evangelism techniques and the work that it takes to start Bible storying groups for the purpose of starting churches, one of the problems they were having was that people they trained weren't able to focus on the work on a long-term basis. They had to leave and go back and to where their family was and try to earn a living, try to provide for their families. And God really touched our heart in that regard, and through research and prayer and discussions with other people, we discovered that there might be an opportunity to start a business, a small business here in Nairobi that could address both of those problems. We could still continue with the evangelistic training and training up leaders, national leaders, Kenyan leaders, to start and lead and conduct storying groups. But we could also possibly provide them with a way to earn some money so that they could provide for their families, and they could continue to focus and not lose their momentum once they got through the training process.
Some prayer requests that would be for while we are in the States is schooling. Ron will be at Southern Seminary in Louisville, completing some hours there for a degree. And Aaron and I are going to be homeschooling. And so those would be two prayer requests, that those activities are successful and enjoyable. We would also have a prayer request for the new team that we have, the Business Mission team, that from the States, that volunteers would pray about coming out and being a part. I see it more as more humanitarian type efforts to help with our targeted people.
Obviously, when you start a new venture like this, a new team with a new concept that's just brand new like this, there are a lot of unknowns and uncertainties, and we're working through those. We have great support from regional leadership. We're in the process of planning out what it will take to establish this business and get the people identified to participate in it. So our prayer requests revolve around all of that. Our target people group are the residents of Nairobi that live in the high-density population areas, mainly slums, but also other parts of town where they have apartment buildings and that sort of thing. Many of them are oral learners, and they don't learn by reading. They learn by what they hear and what they experience. So the technique that works really well with them is to relate Bible stories and then go through a series of questions that bring out the meaning of the story and the lessons of the story. There are ways that you can structure that lead someone through the Bible story, through the to the plan of salvation, and that's been very successful in many parts of the world. And we are praying that God would help us identify people that could, the Kenyan nationals, that could lead these storying groups. They're called T4T groups, and the methodology is called chronological Bible storying, where you start in Genesis and you get to the Gospel, and